We're back now with the aged horses. How many we got? I don't know if I'm missing. Oh, I got to put the other guy on. Sailor's got to go on this list. So, we'll put Sailor right in here. There. Adrenaline Rush, I told everybody in a video, the weirdest thing. So Adrenaline Rush was castrated, I think, over a year ago. And well over a year ago. It might have been as a 2-year-old. I don't really know. Debbie had come to me the other day and said there's some leaking on his scrotum area. I said, well, Deb, this horse was castrated eons ago. What are you talking about? So the vet came in and she looked at it and she said, yeah, it's rare, but sometimes if there's a tiny bit of infection walled off in there, it won't heal properly, and then it can end up having dripping. She goes, Anthony, there's no other way to put it. She goes, I can't fix it. You have to go, lay him down, open him back up, clean that area out properly, and suture him up. Now, it's so weird. Now, as a trainer, I wouldn't notice. I would never have noticed that. And as a trainer, I don't think many people would. This horse broke his leg and was operated on, and when they had him on the table, nobody noticed. So it's just something that, I guess, forest for the trees, you just don't realize. It's not something you look at, right? So Adrenaline Rush has to go up on Thursday. Now, he's ready to go. We trained him in 2.5. We'll train him 1.5 miles hard here on Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, he's going to go up to the university. Now, it's going to cost a little bit of money, $1,000 to $2,000. They're going to have to lay him down, open him up, clean him up, stitch him up. Now, that will heal quickly because we're not actually removing anything other than infection. I don't really know whether they'll say, just drive on, we'll take the sutures out in 10 days, or they say, just let that heal up real good, no hard work for 10 days. I doubt they'll say stall rest. But I'm very interested to see what they're going to say. It may be it just cost us a little money. It really cost us no time. Or it might cost us a week or so. I'm not sure. But he's ready to go right now. And Debbie is an older lady, right? An older lady, a nice lady, but an older lady. And Adrenaline Rush is lazy. Super lazy horse. So for her to take him to Mohawk and train him in 2.5 last half in 59, he's ready to rock. So Adrenaline Rush, got to go do this procedure. I'm really sorry. It's weird. I've never heard of this in my life. I've never heard of a castration site being opened well after a year. It's so weird. It sounds silly to say it, but it is. It happens. I talked to the surgeon. I talked to the vet. It's rare that it happens, but it has.
He is special.
No, he's not special. He's just a horse. But this is a special injury. I guess it's not really an injury because he's not stopping. He trained in 2.5 great, but it does have to be adhered to. It has to be fixed. So Adrenaline Rush will fix that up, and he's ready to go right now. As I said, I'm interested to see what this guy can do. If he can train in 2.5 for Debbie, I'm interested. I'm in. I want to see. So Adrenaline Rush ready to go. Bolt Power was good last night, as I said in my video. I had him in the right spot, but the horse made a break in front of me. If that guy had taken me till halfway down the lane, I'm certain I'm a winner. He's got like an 1/8 of a mile hardcore sprint in him. He's a 1/2 mile track horse. He's got that hard 1/8 in him. Not more than a quarter, though. And I put him in gear just before the 3/4 pole, cleared off the lead. I thought I had the jump on them. He did the moonwalk a little bit, but it was so windy. The little guy, you can only ask him to do so much. He raced good. I'll blame myself, but realistically, the horse that made a break in front of me is who's to blame. So it is what it is. He raced good, finished third, but he'll win that class at any point. He can jump up and beat them just like that. Don't Believe Me, Just Watch, a winner. I know a huge fan base for this guy inside of our group. Everybody likes Don't Believe Me, Just Watch for various reasons. He's been a stalwart here for a long time. At some point, he's going to find himself into a claimer, and he likely will be claimed at some point. Everybody knows that. That'll be kind of a crappy day. He's almost been sold a number of times for us, and he's always done us good. So regardless of what happens with Don't Believe Me, Just Watch, for numerous reasons, fond memories of this guy. And I don't mean to say it in past tense, because he hasn't been claimed yet. He's not going to be sold. They're going to have to claim him to get him. But a great race the other day, and for all the people, and obviously John and Julia, who Brian was a big supporter and a big lover of just Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. Certainly fond memories of this guy moving forward. Aglaria made I was going to say uncharacteristic. It's not uncharacteristic. She will once in a while make a break. But she'll bounce back really good, I think. Looking like a week from Monday, I believe. So we'll probably take her over to Mohawk, train her up pretty good on Wednesday. And if it's a Saturday race, then we'll take her to Mohawk and train her lightly on Wednesday, but she'll be going to Mohawk Wednesday regardless. Globe Trotting is looking good, coming back. No rush with her. I told them to take their time with the big girl. High Gear, No Fear. School qualified. Train hard. I suspect he'll be into school on Friday. I just want this guy to look like I want him to feel. Still got a little musty hair on him, you know, that winter coat on him. They're currying him and working on him, and they'll get it out of him. It'll take a little time, but they'll get it out of him. So you're probably looking at a schooler and 2 qualifiers, and then High Gear, No Fear will be ready to rock. Laugh Now is going to be schooling on Friday. Harry come up to me. So this horse moved down to Dominic's barn, next door to Dominic's barn. Dominic was full, so we had to put him in Jason's barn, which is a bit of a hub right now for orphans and horses that are passing through. So he's in Jason's barn under the care of Dominic with Brody right now. But wait, now is he? No, Cindy's taking care of Laugh Now right now. But Laugh Now, I was interested. Nobody could tell me how he trained the other day. I hadn't talked to Chris Rogers, who went with him at Mohawk. But Harry stopped me the other day and he says, you know who trained good the other day? We have so many horses training hard right now. I'm like waiting with bated breath. Okay, who? He said, Laugh Now. That your horse, the trotter. I said, the little guy? He said, yeah, he trained very good. He looked good. He said, I put the hobbles on him and set them for Chris. He went out and trained him. He looked really good. Mile and 2.6 or something. We'll probably school him in 2.2. But he's getting there. He's almost there, the little guy. So super excited. He looks good. And for a horse who I spoke to one of the people that had him, both the trainer in Northfield, the kid that had him in Northfield, and some of the people that had him here. They said, no, he made breaks all the time. Couldn't trot to save his life. He hasn't made a break for us that I'm aware of. Horse looks fantastic on the track. I don't know how fast he is. He's supposed to be, right? This is Alarm Detector's full brother. He doesn't look anything like Alarm Detector, but the blood is there, the lineage is there. So who knows? Excited to see what's going to happen with Laugh Now. LD's Patrick come back great the other day. Yeah, I there's another race. Should I have let that guy go? Should I have sat in down the backstretch and just let him ride? LD's Patrick soaked a little mucus after the race. He'll be at 105% for the final. Now, here's a news flash. Pay attention, everybody. I haven't really been vocal about this because it was just brought to my attention. We can only race 2 horses in the final. That's it. That's all we can race in the final. So, do we put one of these horses up for sale?
No.
Maybe. I mean, I love LD's Patrick. There isn't anything I don't like about this horse. I don't know how anybody hated him or didn't like him. I love this horse. He's got that race coming up in Yonkers also. Can only race 2. Pretty hard for Royson's Punch to be sold. He just won. We just bought him. Pretty hard for Stay Close to be sold. He's got the least amount of money of any of them. Royson's got over 100. I think maybe what we'll do is, I'll think about it. I'll talk to everybody, all our stakeholders on these horses, but maybe put LD's Patrick and Royson's Punch up for sale. Because after this series, now you're looking at open company anyway, right? And quite frankly, LD's Patrick's been going for over a year. So you do have to, at some point, he's going to say, okay, do you mind? Can I go to the grass for a little while? I'd be happy to let him. So I don't know what the best way to do. We have 3 horses. I believe LD's Patrick will make the final. He finishes 1, 2, 3 this Wednesday, which I assume he will. He'll make the final. But we can only race 2 of them. So it's just the rules of the stake race. Now we have the only horse paid into the next series at Yonkers that I'm aware of is LD's Patrick. Right? I'm not taking Walk on the Moon there. I think those were the only 2. I didn't think Stay Close would get around to half. I got to check my things again. Maybe Stay Close is paid into it, which I'd happily take him. I think he'd get around Yonkers for sure after knowing the horse now. So we Stay Close, LD's Patrick, Royson's Punch. And you know what? This is one of those times where I say, oh, don't worry, I'll figure it out. No. Feel free to send me an email. Send me a message and tell me what you think. We have 3 horses, 3 very different horses, right? You have Royson's Punch, who has over 100,000 made and now has 7 wins. So now he's in open company.
I can do the math.
There's no math. It's just, no. He is over 100,000 now made and 7 wins. He wins next week. That's 8 wins. He's in open company now. That's what he's in. LD's Patrick has less money made, but Been racing for over a year now. No rest. Different issue with him. And then you Stay Close, who's relatively
Why
fresh.
can't you put the one that's been racing for a year in the field instead of someone?
Well, it's a possibility, but I'm not going to. The only thing is that he's worth the money now, right? So here's the scoop. He's worth great money now, plus he's going to Yonkers. I know he can get around Yonkers now. He shows a break at Yonkers and Saratoga, so it's a tough argument he can get around a half. I just schooled him at Northfield Park. We trained him at Saratoga. Mark Beckwith trained him at Saratoga, and we trained him on a half. I guarantee you, Elise Patrick can get around a half. No problem whatsoever. But that's a tough sell because those are all unofficial lines, right? His only official half-mile track lines are both breaks. I think it makes more sense to list both Royston's Punch and Elise Patrick for sale on Gate, knowing that we're only selling one of them. Have a hard line on both of them, and be prepared to take them both home. I think that's the best way to look at it.
I think the
So-
other way is just to put one in the field.
Yeah,
sell one
but
and-
here's the problem, Ava. And it's a very good question. A lot of people are going to have the same question. When you bring him back, now he just fits high conditions, right? Now he's not worth as much as he is now. He's worth a lot now because, one, if they buy him before the final, they can race him in the final in Miami Valley. And he still has the Yonkers Series the week after. Now, the first leg of the Yonkers Series is the same day as the final. But there's like 4 legs in Yonkers. So missing the first leg with a horse that could be the best in the series doesn't really matter that much.
I
So-
have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, that's the whole thing. So it's timing. I think the timing of this makes me believe that maybe Elise Patrick, as much as I love Patrick, Elise Patrick might be the one. But I can make a strong argument for Royston's Punch also. Stay Close, I can make less of an argument for because he has less wins. He has less money made. He fits a lot of classes still. And he's fresh also. So this is the problem we have right now in this. It's a good problem to have in this particular setting.
Why do you have to sell them though?
Because when you bring him back, honey, there's nowhere to race him, and he has to race really, really tough. So you have to look at how much money you can make as opposed to how much money you can get for him right now, right? And that's really what it's all about, classification. We've done a fantastic job. I told you guys at Christmas time, and I alluded to it last year, but I was very clear from Christmas on, we needed to learn from the mistakes of the past, retooling the way that we do business in the industry, right? Changing our model, the way that we operate, made a lot more sense, and it's worked very, very well for us. So one of those 2 horses, I think there's a chance, may leave next week. I don't want to. It's kind of like the Blue Jays having to not sign Marcus Semien. I guess there's a lot of people out there that aren't Blue Jays fans. Having to let a top player go. Right? Tyreek Hill. Right, they traded Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. If you're a football player, how could you possibly do that if you're Kansas City? Mathematically, it just made sense to them. There was a lot that went into that, as there's a lot into selling, buying, moving horses. So, yeah, he'd be going. So, LD's Patrick or Royston's Punch, I believe one of those, may be sold after next week, just because of the proximity of the race. But that would have to take a certain amount of money. I'm not going to sell them and say, oh, well, I guess we'll sell them. No. If we get paid properly for the horses, we'll sell them. I'm not giving them away. These are 2 very good trotters. Both of these horses are horses. If I looked at their lines and say, we got to buy this horse, right? These horses show a lot more than even Sailor's 53 mile. These horses show a lot more. So that's where I'm at with these horses. Anyway, this is stuff that goes on every day with me. So now you get a little glimpse into what I have to take care of. Next, we have Kings County. He was exceptional the other day. I left him. Jason and I talked about it. You know, the day he races, we're just not there. It's a 3.5 hour drive in my car from Northfield Park. It's at least 4 hours by truck and trailer. So it's unfair to just ship him down, ship him back, ship him down, ship him back. So we sent the horse, left him down there with Brett Miller and his girlfriend Stacy. They have Kings County down there for the week. The horse was great the other day. Scoped him after, no blood found. He's in the right place. So hopefully we can see him really. He's going to have to jump up this week. He's way up in class this week. If he's lucky, they open up the non-winners at 12,000 for him. If he's unlucky, he's in the open. So that sucks. But truthfully speaking, I think he is an open trotter. I think. So we'll see. Locatelli's out in the field for another 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks, just relaxing. We'll bring him back. Harry didn't want to leave him out 2 months. I was going to leave him out 2.5 months. He just said, Anthony, I'm worried he'll get too fat. And he's probably right. He carries his weight really well. So we'll have to keep an eye on his weight and bring him back in at a proper time. But we are going to be watching that very closely. My Mini Miracle, I'll tell you right now, obliterated a schooler. Quarter crack bled a little bit, so it's not perfect yet, but it's coming. Obliterated a field in a schooler, 2 minutes on a crappy day, and looked very good. She's going to London on Friday, and the nominators of 50, I believe. This is another field. This mare, I love this mare. She's literally put on 100 pounds. It's almost like she's eaten nonstop since she came to our barn. She looks amazing. I can't wait to race her on Friday. Just really happy with her. Good luck to the No Free Lunch group tonight. Him and Levitor race tonight. Now, Levitor is not on here, Anthony. You're on Levitor. Jesus. So, Levitor is racing tonight. My apologies to my partners on Levitor. I think he's like 9-2 tonight. I'd love to see him continue to do well from the inside in the optional 30 claimer. It's a great class for him. It's a great class for him to race in. So, if he can continue to do well, that's the other horse that's paid into Yonkers. Not Stay Close. It's Levitor. Now, can he get around Yonkers? I don't know. Be fun finding out, though. So, Levitor and Elise Patrick, theoretically, could be heading to Yonkers very, very soon. Very soon, actually, for both of them. As I said, My Mini Miracle was very good. No Free Lunch. Good luck to the No Free Lunch crew today. He's got the rail. Tyler Smith's driving him. Brett jumped off of him. So it was funny because Steve was with me and Jason was there. And Brett's like, no, I think I'm going to take your horse. And then, like, the next day, Tyler Smith comes up to me and he says, excuse me. Tyler Smith comes up to me and says, I'm driving your horse on Sunday. What do I need to know about him? And Steve's there and he goes, I thought Brett said. I said, Brett's been driving way too long to know the difference. He has to tell everybody, yeah, I'll drive your horse. And then if he can't, he can't. Because then I'll say, well, he had a tough spot. But if you come right up and say, no, I'm not driving your horse, it might offend someone. So very rarely, especially in overnight situations, you'll see a driver, an experienced driver say, no, I can't. I just got to go with the other one. They'll likely say, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll drive yours. Or, yeah, I'll drive yours. Even if they can't. So, No Free Lunch, I think he'd be a little better today also. I said to Tyler, just do me a favor, don't put him on the front. He's more a stalker. He goes, I watched a couple of his videos. So Tyler does his homework. He said, I watched a couple of his videos. The 91 looked good. He got a cheap middle half. Then James stretched him out in the final. He got beat. And then Brett put him on the front. He beat last night. He said, he does seem like a horse. Yeah, I said, if you can keep him close, sit, he'll pace like a bugger the whole way down the lane. Like he's got a real good kick on the end of it. And they're not going to outpace him. It's not like he got beat because he can't pace 51. They won't get away from him in 51. I guarantee you they won't. He said, it wouldn't shock me this horse winning 15 apiece. Just got to follow. So I expect that's what he'll do. I'm talking to you like the race hasn't gone yet. It has for you. But I expect that's what he'll do today at Miami Valley. Royston's Punch was spectacular the other day. And I say that because I didn't see it coming. I knew halfway down the lane, I thought I put that guy away, and he just kept coming and coming and coming with that mare. And I looked over and this guy's got me. I said, who is this coming? So I saw the 3/4, 124-3. I know we're going 54-4, 54-3, 54 apiece. Who could possibly be trotting past us? I know the program. There's no one comes to mind that can do it. I certainly didn't think it was going to be little Royston. He's just coming like a bugger the whole way down the lane. Brett said he was loaded when I moved him. He was really good. So he had a great day. Stay Close, overpowered them. Royston's Punch looked great. And make no mistake, Elise Patrick might have got beat, but Scope's sick afterwards. 2 out of 5 for mucus. So clean him up. His confidence is brimming again. He's such a nice horse to be around. He's laying down, eating hay, and I walked by him. Hey, Patrick. And he just looked up at me like, hey, how you doing? It's so cool. He's just a nice horse. I like Elise Patrick. That's why it pains me so much. But, you guys have to understand when I talk about selling these horses, my loyalties lie with, one, the horse's safety and welfare. You know that, first and foremost. But I work for you. My job, because I'm your partner on many of these horses, my job is to do what's best for us. And a lot of people don't agree with that sometimes. But you don't know, sometimes when you make a wrong turn, you can't walk it back, right? You can't walk that back. And I just made all the wrong turns you can make in this business. I've made them at least once or multiple times. And you have to be able to sense that when you come and say, okay, maybe that's not the right way to go. This feels familiar and I don't like how it feels.
Please don't sell Patrick.
Ava, stop. And as much as I don't want to sell a horse like Elise Patrick, the timing and what plays, you guys know this, the major role that play, the major force behind this would be money, right? If we get the right money, which would be a lot for LD's Patrick, I would let him go, even though I love LD's Patrick. But my job is to make sure that this ship sails in the right direction all the time. We're going to come under rough seas and, we're going to have speed bumps and things that, like last night with Patrick. I got to take that stuff. That hurts. I got to take it in, fix it, and move on. That's my job. That's Dominic's job. Jason, Harry, Mario. That's all of our jobs here at the stable, is to do our best to avoid those instances. But when they do come up, and they will come up in racing, take it in, take a deep breath, fix it, and move on. And that's what we're going to do. And it doesn't matter whether it's a bad race from a horse we paid a lot of money for, or whether it's an opportunity to sell a horse for a lot of money that you don't want to sell. Sometimes you have to take a deep breath, take a look at the situation. And you should learn from this also, young lady. Take a deep breath, take a look at the situation and say, okay, what is best for the stable? And that's where we're at right now.
I don't run the stable.
That's correct. So Royston's Punch, just super proud of the way that horse raced. He's just such a nice little horse to watch trot. Stay close. Somebody said to me yesterday, do you have him to the vet yet? No. I've had the vet check him. He said, do you think there's something wrong with him? I said, what do you mean? He just looks so awkward trotting. I said, yeah. He looks like an octopus with hobbles on. That's what he looks like. But strong one. A fast one. So here's the scoop. For those of you watching, you don't have to be a lifetime trainer to understand he looked awkward. If you take a look at the race and say, something doesn't fit in here, it would be him. He's bumping along. And so James and I, way back when, James and I had a couple of horses. One of them was Bumpa's banking on it. And I don't know how I remember these horses. This is like 12 years ago. And Duke of Connaught, and both of them are the ugliest looking trotters you've ever seen. And I mean ugly. But same thing. Put them in, just put some blood in the water. And they're fierce competitors. And Stay Close, we changed him completely. We went from him being shod like a horseman would shoe him. Trotting shoes up front, full swedge behind, a long hobble, to no, strip all that away. Let's put light shoes on him up front, egg bars on him behind. Now, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you a little lesson here of at least how we do business. So a horse like him, I'll use the hobbles. The hobbles will be utilized in a very specific way. Put them on tight and let him do his work. Now, to let a horse with a beautiful, beautiful rangy gait, let the hobbles go on him tight. The best way to do that is to put a lighter shoe on him. A lighter shoe will speed him up a little bit, lighten him up a little bit, and I believe it makes that gait more malleable, more flexible.
More presentable.
No, not more presentable, but more flexible. I was going to say fluid, but that's not the word. Yes, Stay Close looks gross, trotting, flopping around, and if you look close, it's almost like he's not really sure where to put that left hind leg. It took him 3/8 of a mile to figure out where to put it so that he didn't touch it with the left front foot. And if you go back even to the race he won as a 2-year-old, he always had that little kind of softness to him where you could see him making a break. Now, when he's shod like this, you let him use his power, just sheer power, to beat them up. And as his confidence grows and we change his shoes around a little bit more, and let his hobbles out, I believe then we can mold him into the trotter I believe he can be. But he's going to look terrible until then. But he's going to be fast. He's going to be strong. There was no doubt in my mind I was a winner at any point in the mile. Somebody said, he doesn't leave that good, though. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I had to near pull him over backwards to let Trace go 27-2. So yeah, he can get out of there. He can't spring off the car just yet, but that will change eventually, too. Right now, he's just handy. Right now, he's just a handy horse. You can just do what you want with him. And he's a fun horse to drive because he's a winner. I say this all the time. Winners win, losers lose. They all find a way to win or they all find a way to lose. And there's lots in the middle. He's a winner. So, Stay Close. Very proud of him. No, he's not going to the vet.
Hey, Daddy.
What, honey?
If you mean that winners win, losers lose, what do you think Noodles is? Is he in between?
He's in between. He's indifferent. He'll lose if it presents itself and he has to go 105% all the time. Some horses just win at all costs. They're just winners. And some horses lose at all costs. We try to sell all the losers that we can And the world's full of them. You guys have played hockey or baseball or basketball, some sports. All of you have played against the same types of people. The people that choose to win no matter what. And I'm not talking about cheating. I'm talking about winning at all costs. Right? The guy who jumps over the fence to catch the foul ball, runs into the fence. Right? In football, the guy who makes that catch coming across the middle knowing he's about to get cleaned out. That type of attitude. Winners win. And Stay Close is a winner, I can tell you that. So we're going to keep him anchored down tight. His hobbles are going to stay on tight. We're going to continue to do well with him. And inch by inch, little by little, we can mold him into a much, much better horse, I believe. That's what I mean by that. Sailor was actually incredible last night. If you're not really, I don't want to dwell on it. Go back and watch my recap video from last night or the video I had sent out before the races. I love this horse a lot. I think he's going to do a lot of good for us. And last night was just circumstances. If you had to stop the race at the half and say, hey, James, how do you feel about where you're sitting right now? How do you feel about what's going on? He would be very upset. You know, taking a horse back, in a perfect world, taking a horse back sitting last should be easy, right? You choose to do that. But when you're dealing with a horse that's headstrong, anxious, and then turns a little erratic and hot, it's not a good feeling. Then you have somebody pull out in front of you, another guy pull out in front of him, and neither of them are going anywhere. Now you got a horse that wants to get going and he's hot right now. That's what happens. Now, I didn't ask James. I think he did step on a wheel in front of him. Maybe he didn't. It doesn't really matter. The horse rolled off stride. And I think we all learned from that, right? Even the horse maybe learned from it a little bit. But James learned from it. I learned from it. You did. You're going to see James float off the gate easy next week, drop in 2-3, or continue on to the front. And I don't think there's a horse that's going to drop into that classic and trot with Sailor. This is just a gifted, a very, very nice horse. I love this little horse. You know, he's picky with his food. He's a little shy in the burn. As you see him start to gather his confidence, I think we're going to have a really, really nice horse for the summer. The reason I say that is because we did scope him last night. Not a drop of blood, not a drop of mucus. He's just a healthy, good-looking, very talented colt horse. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this guy. Walk on the Moon. I'll start with Stonebridge Simba. Stonebridge Simba raced flat last night, but I was in depth again. Go back and watch my recap video from Saturday night. You'll see what I'm talking about. I know Stonebridge Simba inside and out. I know everything he does. I know everything about him. And I know most of what he's going to do before he does it. But the footwear we have on him last night was not really good for last night's track, and certainly not where he does his best work. We'll put the full swedges back on him, race him his next start, race him for about 3-4 starts, and then slide those flip-flops on for a couple of starts. That's what we'll do with Stonebridge Simba. Or yeah, now Walk on the Moon. So a lot of people, I told everybody we're going to geld him, and then somebody had called me looking to buy him. They said, Anthony, as a show horse, he's a big black stud. You may not want to geld this horse. I said, well, if you want to buy him, make me an offer and I'll bring it back to our clients. I said, we turned down a lot of money before Harrisburg. Would we take less? Yes, probably. But I'd have to talk to them. My partner's on the horse. So he is not gelded yet because somebody's hemming and hawing about whether they're going to make an offer or not on Walk on the Moon. I think Walk on the Moon is an okay horse. He definitely does not have the eye of the tiger, I can tell you that. Now, we knew that last year. When Aaron won with him, tripped him out. When I don't know if I won with him. I was second a couple of times, and I thought he raced great. But again, trip. Aaron put him on the front. He got beat. You want to come first over? He got beat. He's not a killer. He's just a horse. But he's a useful horse. I'm not taking anything away from him. You know, he wants no part of LD's Patrick, Royson's Punch, or who's the other one we got? Or Stay Close, or Sailor, for that matter. He wants no part of any of those 4 horses. But he's still a very useful horse. And he is a nice horse. Even though he's not a killer, doesn't mean he's not a nice horse. We just got to get him squared away and moving properly. As a racehorse, I would like to castrate him, but I think I really have to pay attention to what's at hand here. There's more at play here than just a set of testicles. So it's on hold right now. His procedure is on hold right now because there's a lot going on. So we'll leave it at that for now. White Tiger will be out in the field. Same thing. Same as Locatelli. Another 4 or 5 weeks or something. No rush with them. And then Yes is back going now. Jason trained him his first mile the other day. Said he trained fantastic. So I somehow turned a short list of horses into a 30-minute video. But I wanted to be in depth today. I wanted to talk myself out of a little tiny bit of depression and work my way back into happiness, which I've done. So with that, your racehorse video is done. I'll get back to all the burns in just a minute. Take care.